All right, everyone. So I want to talk to you guys about why I don't give a damn about Alexei Navalny. I just don't care about this guy. The media is talking about him as if he's some sort of a martyr. And they're praising this guy, but it's amazing. They're praising a guy who was a far-right Russian nationalist. So the media, the liberal establishment media, has been praising Navalny for years, which means for years they have been praising a far-right Russian nationalist. So they will bash Putin and they will say Putin is a far-right totalitarian, he's a dictator, etc., etc. Or they'll bash Trump and they'll say Trump is some sort of a right-wing American fascist, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to fighting Putin, when it comes to fighting the Russians, all of that anti-fascist, anti-nationalist, anti-far right, anti-Nazi talk just goes right out the damn window. Why? Because it's Russia. And so when you're anti-Russia, all principles, all morals don't mean anything. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about the principles when it comes to fighting Russia. When it comes to fighting Russia, you can praise Ukrainian neo-Nazis. You can praise far-right Russian nationalists, such as Mr. Alexei Navalny. Navalny was a far-right Russian nationalist who participated for years in a neo-Nazi Russian rally called the Russian March. And if you watch videos of this march, you will see people holding up swastikas, holding up flags bearing the image of the Kalovrat, which is the Slavic swastika. And Navalny partook in these rallies every single year for years. For years, he was going to these rallies. And in 2007, he described himself as a, quote, certified nationalist. And there was a guy who knew him. His name was Edward Bagirov. And Edward Bagirov, who had known Navalny since 2001, spoke of Navalny as a man, quote, with the manners of the Führer, who was ready to jump over his head. Bagirov went on to describe Navalny as the most natural fascist. He went to the Russian marches. Then these were real Nazi gatherings where they zigged, carried a swastika on themselves, and chanted the appropriate slogan. So there you go. There you go. And there was a Russian march that took place in 2012, and Navalny attended. And in this march, you will see swastikas and all, and Navalny was there. Yet the media praises Navalny as if he's some sort of a martyr, which really goes to show you that all that anti-Nazi talk, all that anti-fascist talk, a lot of it, really, it's all just politics. Basically, it depends on who they're talking about. If they hate Trump, yeah, they'll say Trump is an American nationalist, far-rightist, or they'll say that he's a fascist. When it comes to Putin, they'll say that Putin is a far-right Russian dictator slash totalitarian slash tyrant slash despot. But when it comes to their heroes, when it comes to the NATO proxies against Russia, then all of that sentiment against Nazism, ultranationalism, far-right ideology goes right out the window. They don't give a damn. They'll take those principles and they'll just, they'll wipe their own bums with them. They don't give a damn. It's all just a bunch of nonsense. So that's why I don't really give a damn about this talk about Navalny. Navalny looks like a psychopath. He looks like an embryo that got possessed by a demon. He looks really sick. You can see the guy's evil. He's pure evil, this guy. And he was a racist. He was a Russian racist. Now, when they want to attack Putin, they'll say Putin is a fascist, ultranationalist, he's evil, etc., etc. When they want to attack Trump, Trump's a racist, far-right, nationalist, fascist, whatever. But Navalny, because Navalny was an enemy of Putin, Navalny is now a good guy. Doesn't matter if he took part in neo-Nazi rallies. Doesn't matter if he was a racist. Doesn't matter if he described migrants or immigrants as cavities. Yes, he did. He actually described foreigners who come into Russia, certain foreigners who come into Russia as cavities who need to be sanitized out of the mouth of Russia for the hygiene of the nation. None of that matters, right? If Trump described immigrants as cavities, or if Putin described Ukrainians as cavities, then the media would say, look, Putin is a racist against Ukrainians, or Trump is a racist against immigrants. But if Navalny said it, well, that's fine, because he's against Putin. That's all that really matters. It's like in World War II, America fought the Nazis, but then near the end of the war, the Ukrainian Nazis realized that Germany wasn't going to win the war. So they said, well, why side with the losers? Let's side with the winners. So the Ukrainian Nazis ended up joining the Americans. And then the Ukrainian Nazis became proxies for America in the Cold War. They became a part of the Cold Warrior realm. And they were Ukrainian mass murderers who were working with the Americans. Why? Because they were against the Russians. Didn't matter if they were Nazis. Didn't matter if they were mass murderers. None of that mattered. What mattered is that they were anti-Russia. That's all that mattered. Anyway, you guys just heard some theology. God bless.